Hey, this is attorney Jamie Miller, and welcome to another Miller Law Chronicle podcast, where we will simplify the legal maze by giving you clarity and confidence as you go through the legal process. Today, we're going to spend a few minutes talking about the importance of whether or not you should have a lawyer represent you in a bankruptcy, or should you file bankruptcy on your own. Now, in answering that question, you really have to consider the complexity of your case. Do you have a lot of assets? Do you have a lot of debt? Do you own real estate? Do you have a car payment? The individual complexities of your case will really guide you with that decision as to whether you should file bankruptcy on your own or seek counsel. So listen in. I hope we've given you some great tips on whether or not filing bankruptcy with a lawyer makes sense. I think it always will make sense to hire a lawyer. It's going to take you through the process and get you through that process much more smoothly and with less obstacles. But it's an individual decision that you have to make. I appreciate you listening. If you like our podcast, please subscribe on YouTube, or if you listen to us on Apple, Spotify, or Google Podcasts, please follow us. The more listeners we get, the more information we can spread about different bankruptcy options and opportunities. Have a great day, and we look forward to you next week at our next podcast. Thank you. Hey, it's attorney Jamie Miller from the Miller Law Chronicles, and today we're going to talk about the complexity of the bankruptcy process, whether or not you should have a lawyer or not to take you through the bankruptcy process, and kind of the intricacies of the bankruptcy law. And I want to first help you understand the complexity of a bankruptcy case. So the filing of a bankruptcy case starts with the filing of the petition that one files with the bankruptcy court to get an automatic stay or the injunction that prevents creditors from bothering you once you file bankruptcy. But the important thing that you need to know about filing a petition is that all of the information that you file in a petition needs to be accurate and correct. So that starts with making sure your tax returns are filed and that they're accurate and that it matches your income and expenses, that you have all your pay stubs, that your recorded deed and mortgage, if you own real estate, is in order. But a Chapter 7 can be complex from the get-go because the number of forms and the amount of information that you need ahead of time is quite a bit. So just need to make sure that you assemble all the proper documents. The forms, the documentation, and the court procedures can be very complex. And also, you have to be aware of the potential consequences of filing a bankruptcy and errors that can happen in the event that you don't file proper forms. So we're going to kind of take a step back, talk about whether or not you should have a lawyer. So what are the benefits of hiring a lawyer? Well, when you hire a bankruptcy lawyer, you're hiring someone with the expertise and specialized knowledge of the bankruptcy laws. Really important. Bankruptcy is not easy. There are a lot of obstacles and pitfalls to getting your bankruptcy case discharged. Having someone on your side who has gone through the process, who knows the court system, who knows the players in the court system, who knows exactly what you need to have a successful bankruptcy is really important. The other important reason as to why to have a great bankruptcy lawyer on your side is that they can help guide you and take you through the process of whether or not a Chapter 13 makes sense, which is a repayment plan that we use to help you get caught up on a mortgage payment or a car payment, or we use a Chapter 13 in many instances when you don't qualify to file a bankruptcy. So the question is, should I file a Chapter 13 bankruptcy and do a payment plan? Or should I file a Chapter 7 and try to wipe out my debts? Can be a very complex question from the get-go, so you're going to want to look at that. Also, as I mentioned earlier, that lawyer can help you with assisting you and guiding you in organizing the required financial documentation. The filing fee for a bankruptcy is $338 for a Chapter 7, $313 for a Chapter 13. The last thing you want to do is file a bankruptcy and then realize you didn't have the proper paperwork. For instance, when you file for bankruptcy, you have to do credit counseling. If you file your case and you invested the filing fee and you don't complete the credit counseling, your bankruptcy is void. So your case is going to get dismissed. It's also important to have a lawyer to represent you that can advocate for you during the bankruptcy process. That lawyer is going to know what your court date is going to look like, when you need to appear in court, and what you need to say when you get to court. Now, no doubt about it, you can successfully do a bankruptcy on your own. No doubt about it. You can file a bankruptcy. There's probably a good chance that it'll get approved, but the time, the emotional investment is going to, probably make it worth your while to have a great advocate on your side to help you get through the process. Now, I totally understand that there's a cost consideration when it comes to filing for bankruptcy. The cost to file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy can be in upwards of a couple $1,000s. The cost to file a Chapter 13 can be in upwards of $4,000. At our office, we'll offer all kinds of payment plans and work with you to make sure that you can afford it and that we can get your case filed. But obviously, and importantly, the investment that you're going to need to pay up front is going to be a lot. And so I understand that. We understand that. Lawyers understand that. But if you're seeking to discharge $20,000 and you are wanting to protect your home, you want to protect your car, you want to protect your assets, the investment of a lawyer's fee or having good counsel is really important. I can't underestimate the importance of that. It may seem like a lot of money up front, but to be able to have a lawyer help you through the process is going to be invaluable. So I get it. Are there low cost pro bono services that can help you? Yeah, probably. But if you need to file a bankruptcy, it's likely you're employed. It's likely you want to prevent a garnishment. It's likely that you want to keep your car or prevent you from losing your home. So oftentimes, if you're having to file bankruptcy, your income level is likely to be higher than the amount required that's going to allow you to qualify for pro bono services. And you need to balance the cost of legal representation with the potential long-term benefits. So file bankruptcy on your own, hope it works, you'll discharge your debts. Now, at Miller & Miller, for instance, you hire Miller & Miller, you have an advocate on your side. We're going to get the creditors off of your back right away. We're going to pursue litigation against creditors if they continue to bother you after you file for bankruptcy. And at the end of the day, we're going to work with you on our program to get your credit score up to 720. So you may be able to get your debts discharged, but the expertise of hiring a firm that's going to help you not only get rid of your debts, but get your credit score to 720, the cost and the benefit of getting that credit score to 720 is going to far outweigh the investment that you're going to pay in filing a bankruptcy, in the cost of filing a bankruptcy. Think about, you buy a car and you have an 18% or 24% interest rate. If you come through our firm or work with a lawyer that's going to help restore your credit, you're going to reduce that credit score. So you're going to get such a high credit score that you're going to qualify a low interest car loan. Compare the amount that you're saving if you get a 7% car loan versus a 20% car loan. It's going to save you so much money that the amount that you invest in hiring a good lawyer is going to, not seem like it's that much. So get it. I totally get it. I totally understand the cost of having a bankruptcy lawyer, but you need to weigh that with the long-term benefit of getting a great credit score and having someone that's going to help you navigate through the process. When you're considering, should I have a lawyer or not, you have to look at the complexity of your own case. You need to at least consult with a lawyer and evaluate your personal circumstances and the complexity of your case. If you're self-employed, if you have a lot of assets, if your income is really high, if you've filed bankruptcies in the past that have not worked, consult with a lawyer. In those circumstances, you definitely should have a lawyer. Take a look at your income, your assets, your debts. Make sure that you're filing bankruptcy. We're going to protect all of your assets. And you have to consider the potential legal challenges that you might have if you file bankruptcy. Are you satisfied? A big issue now is, do you have cryptocurrency? Are you self-employed? Have you received a payroll protection program loan? Do you have SBA debt? All of those things make your bankruptcy more complicated and are going to raise flags with the court when you file your case. And having the advocate of a good lawyer behind you is something that's really going to be really important. Consulting with a lawyer and going over your specific case is going to give you great insight into whether you should file a bankruptcy with a lawyer or file it on your own. So if you want to file a bankruptcy on your own, you can do it. Get legal advice. Take advantage of a couple lawyers' free consultations. We're always happy to talk to you, so we can provide clarity for you. Ask great questions during that consultation and make sure that you take notes and understand the benefits of having a lawyer or not having a lawyer, because you can definitely do it on your own. This isn't a sales pitch. I want to help you understand that there's a lot of pitfalls and obstacles in filing a bankruptcy. In any legal proceeding, I would always recommend that you hire a lawyer. But if you can't afford it, you need to understand what the possible problems that you have. So I thank you for spending time listening today. We talked about a lot of important things. We talked about the differences between a Chapter 7 and a Chapter 13. We talked about the complexity of your case and consulting, taking advantage of a free consultation with the lawyer so you can determine whether filing bankruptcy pro se or on your own makes sense. It's really your individual circumstances that really impact it. Fundamentally, if you have a lot of assets, a lot of liabilities that you want to protect, if you've had gambling in your background, for instance, that's something that you want to consult with a lawyer about. So bottom line, take advantage of free consultation, make the decision that works best for you. And I have a lot of people that say, hey, Joe down the street filed bankruptcies on his own and it went fine. Well, beware, because Joe's bankruptcy could have been much easier than yours. His situation is much different. No two bankruptcies are the same. And so, again, I must tell you, make a knowledgeable choice and take advantage of the free consultation. Come in and talk to us. We'll be honest with you. If you can't afford a bankruptcy, we're going to point you in the right direction. But hire a lawyer. It'll probably be the best investment that you can make. Really appreciate you listening. If you like this podcast and you're listening on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching us on Spotify podcast or Google Podcast or Apple Podcasts, please follow us. We have important new podcasts coming up every week, and I really appreciate you listening today.